That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 139 of Camp Strange. I'm your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your camp counselor, Jonathan Pringles.
Why do you do this? That's David. And
You don't like Jonathan Pringles?
I don't like any of your imaginary friends or whatever you call these men, I assume.
Okay.
But we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and gambling. And before we, get into any of our longer stories today, we got to catch you up on any of the weird news you may have missed. And David, I'll let you go first. Or should I say, Jonathan, I'll let you go first.
Good, because I'm coming in with 6.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I got 3. So
Well, my story's pretty short today, so I thought the least I could do is come with some with more news. And most of them are just like, read the headline and you're good to go.
Okay, so if you read the headline of a story I have, I guess I just have to cover it.
Sure, that's great.
Okay.
So a boat bursts into flames after its passengers allegedly harassed a group flying a LGBTQ pride flag.
Oh my! I saw that TikTok.
I've seen the video. It's not alleged. They are flipping them off and like doing tight turns around them.
And then they went and their boat, cut out, but their boat caught on fire. And then they were swimming, and the people flying the LGBTQ flag picked them up. And I was like, that's so.
That'd have been so rich.
No, it's so much better than like. Cause I went through like a little mental thing of like what I would do, and I was like, oh, there's a part of me that like wants to drive away, but like the awkwardness on the boat afterward of like like when you're in the right, like somebody has a joke about this, like when you get like somebody's like, my biggest fear is basically telling somebody, like I've been on productions before where I go, oh, sorry, man, you can't be over here. This is our production, blah, 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 blah. We have really strict protocols over here. And then like somebody of a higher power on my production walks up and goes, oh, no, he's good. And I was like, dude, I just like fucking reprimanded this guy, and now he's going to be like on our set for the rest of the day. And like, so
see, that's when you joke about it and you try to kick him off set again like an hour later.
Yeah, exactly. Like forcefully, I like grab him by the nape of his neck, and then
you start punching.
Yeah,
you start wailing.
I start running, and then I just hope that he also starts running, and I do like a little like wrestling turnbuckle, like throw him into the wall. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
You got to stand like 20 yards away until you make eye contact, and then just dead sprint at him. Oh boy. So I mean, all right, if I was in this position and these people were harassing me because of what I believe in, I would have been like, oh yeah, come on over to my boat, and I would have done that classic move that dads pull with the car when they start to drive a little bit when someone's like trying to get in the car.
Oh, but then you'd actually not
get close to the boat.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't see that, David. That is like the most dangerous thing you could do.
Well, I'd throw it in reverse, then just grind.
I was gonna say, when people are getting on the boat, the one thing you don't do is turn on the propeller because it's right near their legs.
Well, there are some boats where the propeller is more in the middle.
It's called an airplane. Whoa.
Yeah.
Like a biplane.
There you go.
Like a water airplane.
Yeah. Those, what are those called?
Water airplanes. They're called water airplanes.
Yeah, water airplanes.
Yeah, that was fun. That was good. One.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun. All right, back it up, boys.
That was it. But that's great karma right there, and
and they did pick them up,
and
by the way.
Yeah, and you don't really have to say much once they get on the boat. They know what they did. They're out of boat. If you get on the boat, you become one of the letters, so they're turned, which is that's bad. That's bad enough for them. Good for anybody else, but bad enough for them. Anyway, so so I have you went with more of a fun story. I have a story right here that says a self-styled Satanist beheaded his cellmate, but the guards didn't notice. So
Yeah, that's one that needs a little bit of reading.
So
I wouldn't bring that to the table just because I would know I'd have to read something.
yeah, this is a crazy ass story. So this guy named Jamie Osuna, who was 31, had decapitated and dissected the body of his cellmate Luis Romero, 44, with a makeshift knife on March 9th, 2019. This is really old. I don't even know why this is like, it was published like a couple days ago, but I don't know why maybe they're going to court with it or something. But
Yeah.
basically, long story short is that this guy Osuna is like a renowned Satanist. His face looks like he has like Juggalo face paint on, but it's all tattoos and Satan stars and like
Love it.
it's kind of like a clown style makeup, but he's covered in tattoos, like very scary looking. But apparently he hasn't been allowed to have cellmates because he's tried to kill people in the past. And the reason he's in prison in the first place is because what did he
Missed
do?
parking tickets?
No, he life sentence for killing and torturing a 37-year-old Yvette Pena at a Bakersfield motel in 2011. And I guess he loves torturing people. He tells people all the time, but this is, you know what? I just really come with the gruesome stories, but I'm just going to read this to you. It said, using a razor style blade attached to a handle, Osuna disfigured Romero, cutting out one of his eyes, chopping off one of his fingers, and removing part of his ribs and slicing out part of his lungs. He ultimately cut off his head. He also posed the body, slicing Romero's face open on either side of his mouth to resemble an extended smile. May I say, Joker, baby?
Now is not the time for that.
See, I don't know why everybody likes it. Everybody likes a psychopathic guy who shoves a pencil through someone's eyeball and carves smiley faces into their face until it's real. You know, then they don't want to be in a cell with them anymore. But every guy on TikTok from Ohio who has you think he's an angel, but he's got a dark side, loves the Joker, baby, until he tries to kill you. So, but yeah, basically this dude like hung a sheet over his cell, and now they're going to court because they said that the guards were supposed to check on prisoners, and this happened over several hours, and they didn't check on him at all. They're just like walking past, so they're saying that like the guards are negligent and everything. And yeah, he's not allowed to be in a cell with anybody because he stabbed and slashed some guy's face and gave him 67 stitches. And
in jail?
Yeah, in jail. That's why he's been in jail for a while now. But yeah, and I think he made a necklace out of like his fingers and eyes and stuff, and he was wearing it and everything like that.
Oh,
Crazy. What?
Does he have an Etsy shop?
He does not have an Etsy shop.
Oh, okay.
But these tattoos look like they're from Etsy because they ain't that good for the price. So, no, they're probably free. Let's not kid ourselves. So, yeah, that's that. And I just thought you would, David, you love those stories. You love hearing about that stuff. So,
yeah, I don't. You make my mother cry on a daily basis.
I thought that was your job, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I'm here to talk about. You're taking my goddamn job.
Do you have another story? You have 5 more.
I do. Buckingham Palace banned ethnic minorities from office roles. Papers reveal.
I don't know what you just said. Is the ban called ethnic roles?
No, they banned ethnic minorities from having office roles.
Oh.
Basically, they didn't give anybody that was not white a good job.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. My computer's like overheating right now.
Uh-oh.
Give me 1 second.
Did a beat up beat a do did a bit it do a flitted it a bit it did it do.
We're cutting this out, right?
Yeah, I was just singing the hamster song for a little bit.
Oh, that's a good song.
I bet a did a do did a bit it do. I did a bit it do.
You were close. That was pretty good.
What did I miss?
Diddy da diddy do do dee da diddy do skibby dibby 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 doo doo. You just had a couple skibby doobs, so like it, you know.
Yeah, I didn't put skibby doos, and also you had an extra do in there.
Yeah. I know I won a dance competition to that song. I'm not even fucking kidding.
Well, now I'm not cutting this out.
I told you about this.
I have the power of God.
It was a rodeo. They played at a rodeo, and I did a little dance to it, and I got a Donald Duck Game Boy game.
How's the game?
I never played it. It was really bad. It was really bad. It was really, really bad.
Oh.
It was a Game Boy game that you look at and you go, no one's gonna buy that fucking Game Boy game.
Yeah, they found it at Goodwill. They gave it out as a prize to kids.
It was like the Frogger Game Boy game. You're like, I know what it's about. I don't need to buy the Frogger Game Boy game.
Yeah, yeah, Frogger's cool, and it was one of two options that are Pong. But,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's fun to like play for like 5 minutes, and then you're like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Continue.
Are we cutting that off?
No, I'm gonna keep some of this.
Okay. Well, you said something horrible about minorities not being allowed to. You know what? You guys don't want to be in that castle. It seems awful in there anyway.
Yeah, it's not even like a real castle. It's bullshit.
I feel like not even like the white people in England want to go in there. You just get sacrificed or something.
Yeah, eaten alive.
By that lizard woman. But rest in peace, Prince Philip. So I have another one right here as this one's good. So Sydney Horder killed man, then lived with corpse for 15 years. So apparently,
what is wrong with you?
Dude,
why do you read these things again? Hey, you know what? The people that spend their free time, they don't have much of it, but they spend their time to listen to us. I'm going to tell them about this one.
Let the bodies hit the news. Let the bodies hit the news. No, it says a man whose mummified remains were found inside of a home on Snyder's Lower North Shore after 15 years was shot dead during a botched break-in and enter. So apparently this guy, Shane Snellman, broke into this guy Bruce Roberts' house in 2002. So Bruce Robert is apparently, he owns like 1 million shares of something. He inherited a house in Greenwich Village. I'm guessing that's what Greenwich is. And this guy broke in. And also Bruce Roberts is like a loner, hoarder. I think he just died at like 55 years old, which is pretty young. And apparently his whole family was like, oh, he's a weird. His family described him as a weird loner who was like a hoarder. But this guy broke in, Mr. Snellman, and tried to rob him. This guy Roberts shot him and then just put his body in another room in the house. And he's a hoarder.
Hold on. So the guy who was living in the house shot the burglar.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
shit.
The guy,
okay, that's a twist.
Yeah, the guy who living in the house, who's like a millionaire, inherited millionaire, shot this robber who came in and put his body in another room for 15 years. And apparently his neighbors recently started to see mail stacking up on Bruce Roberts' porch. And they're like, oh, this is weird. We'll call the police.
Just recently.
And, they found Bruce Roberts dead inside due to natural causes. But when they went in one of the rooms, they found the body of Snellman 15 years ago. And there's about 70 bottles of air freshener discovered around the body. So the body was decomposing and rotting. And this guy, instead of like reporting any of this, he just put the body in another room and just stuck a bunch of air fresheners around it. How crazy is that?
Insane. What the fuck? Just report it, dude. He broke into your fucking house.
Well, this guy was like a straight up weirdo kind of guy, I guess. I don't know, but he loner. He probably didn't want to deal with anybody. He knew that if he called the police to his house from shooting a guy, that they're gonna be like, "Yo, you're a hoarder," and also you might go to jail now because you're not allowed to. Like, I don't know how New York works, but like you're not allowed to shoot people. You know what I mean? Like, so he's probably like, wait, what? The 39-year-old had a history of petty crime and was acquitted of murdering a homeless man when he was 15 years old. That was Snellman. The guy who got shot in the house apparently got acquitted for murdering a homeless man when he was 15 years old.
The hole just keeps getting deeper. Huh?
Oh my God. This is a crazy story.
Yeah, this could have just been a whole episode.
Honestly, holy shit. So, yeah, well, that's that. And they're both dead. One's been dead for 15 years, but, you know.
Didn't Mark Wahlberg kill a homeless guy?
Mark Wahlberg, he blinded
He blinded like a
somebody.
Vietnamese guy or something like that. It was like a race. It was like a race thing,
It was either a racial thing or a homophobic thing.
or both.
Yeah. And, yeah, he blinded somebody pretty bad, I think.
What a sweetheart.
But I was trying to think of any movie he's in. I can't. But he's American Sniper.
Nice guys.
That's not him. That's Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
He's the other sniper in the what's the one that's like too real and people can't watch it? What's that one?
Home Alone?
No. Mark Wahlberg movie where it's like, anyway. So you have a next story.
Yeah, woman has car stolen in D.C. Police find it. Car gets stolen again as police wait for a tow truck.
Lone Survivor. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
Wait, can you say that again?
Woman has car stolen in D.C. Police find it. Car gets stolen again as police wait for tow truck.
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
That's like the
Must be-
lottery.
But what kind of car are we talking here?
Come on, man. You know I don't have those answers.
And are the police like standing there watching the car get stolen again? Like
Apparently not.
They probably found the car, called the tow truck, left, and then it was the tow truck driver's like, "There's no fucking car here."
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it says what type of car it was.
Oh man, must have been nice though.
Ooh, is that
or
Tesla?
shitty.
What is that,
No, but
Tesla?
No, that's the thing. You can't steal like Teslas and nice cars like that because they got too many of the. Oh shit, you got too many of the microchips in there. You know, you got like the vaccine and stuff.
You just gotta melt them down.
You just gotta steal it from that computer that's in the front console. I saw a video of a guy get pulled over, and the cop's like, "You can't be on your laptop in like while you're driving." And it was just when Teslas came out, and the guy's like, "No, this is like the interface of the car." And the guy's like, "What?" He's like, "Well, look at that." The cops is like, "Well, look at that." But the thing is also, cops have laptops in the front of their cars. So
yeah, they get all mad. You text and drive, boy. They are surfing.
They
the
type
web.
in and drive.
Yeah, surfing. They surfing.
Hey, that cop computer got games.
They are looking for those hot single moms in that area.
No, they're playing Worms. You know what game I'm talking about?
Oh, I know. They made a new one that was apparently good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a Game Boy game I'd probably leave on the shelf.
Really?
I'm not a strategic guy. I'm more of a Kirby man myself.
Kirby's a classic.
Kirby's good.
Kirby's
Wario
Dreamland.
too. I like a good Wario.
Warriors, yeah, that's a good one too. Got any other you want to just?
Donald Duck. My favorite.
The Dawn.
Yeah. Anyway, you got another story?
Yeah, artist sells invisible sculpture for $18,000.
Dude, that's so fucked up, man. We put this podcast out every 2 weeks now. We're gonna work on that, but and we don't make any money, and we be trying to sell invisible sculptures. We be making 18 grand.
Oh, I'll read some of the comments here. Money laundered check.
Wait, first off, like that's another thing with like NFTs. I hear like people selling memes, like fucking like kid eating sand picture. You know, it's like great success baby, or like
from all that bullshit.
Or like Bad Luck Brian could like sell his NFT and it'll make like $186,000. I'm like, this is fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Ugh. Whatever. I guess it's kind of nice because I guess the only thing that's good about all that is that their image has been used so many times by so many people and they've made no money on it. This is kind of like their, as we said in last episode, comeuppance. But still,
is like the sand-eating baby selling it? Because that kid's got to be 18 by now.
No, I know that the girl who, like the classic meme image, like when memes first came out, of the girl watching the house burning on fire, and she's like kind of, she sold that for like $186,000.
Good for her.
I know. Well, like I'm jealous. That's the only reason I'm mad about it. But
can we sell this podcast as an NFT?
If I burn down a house and take a picture of it, how much will you guys buy that for? Don't worry, there's 2 dead guys in it that have been dead for 15 and 6 days. 15 years and 6 days.
That's a total of, 30 years and 12 days.
What are you talking about?
For each one of them, baby.
No, I'm sorry. I was referring to our last story about the guy who's been dead for
I know.
That shit goes up like a candle, man, with all that kindling in there, all those pee-filled Gatorade bottles.
Yeah. Piss
like
jugs.
Gasoline, like gasolina.
Are you out, by the way? Am I just reading them now?
No, I got one more,
Okay.
but you go.
McDonald's chicken nugget shaped like Among Us crewmate draws $35,000 in eBay bids.
Dude, this is fucked up. I fucking hate this, man.
Oh, you are such an Among Us fan, dude. You would like text us all like every weekend. Anybody want to play Among Us?
I for a hot minute I was into Among Us, but then all those kids started finding out I was the imposter.
Oh,
I don't know, man. It's the Fortnite phenomenon where it's like so many people play it, and then it fucking sucks. All these 13-year-olds just calling you names, man.
Oh, I clicked on the article and
the nugget. You see the nugget? Is a good nugget?
I see the nugget.
It's bullshit. All the McDonald's nuggets are shaped like the same 4 things.
I mean, this one's definitely a new shape.
Can you name them? I can name 2 of them. I know Circle Nugget and I know Boot Nugget.
There's like the United States shaped one. That might be the Boot Nugget though.
That might be Boot Nugget. Let me see.
Look at this nugget.
Whoa. Okay, that does.
That
nugget's sus. That nugget's sus.
He's just walking around, eh? I like how he's also in like an IKEA Ziploc bag, and you can see that.
What's an IKEA Ziploc bag?
It's a Ziploc bag you buy from IKEA.
IKEA sells Ziploc bags? That's more That's more exciting than the fucking nugget.
Yeah.
That nugget venting though. Yo, I just saw that nugget vent. You better eat that nugget before it vents again.
Yeah. Dude, this is just so fucking insane.
You're not really playing ball with me, David.
Oh, I'm just trying to. My God, $34,443.43.
You know what's fucked? You know what's more fucked up than anything? A McDonald's employee put that in a bag and gave it to somebody, and now they made $35,000 off that. And the guy was like, "Fuck you guys!" Literally, I just fucking I made that nugget. I took that out of, and the factory worker who like pressed that nugget. Man, he was probably like, it passed him on the conveyor belt, and he's like, "That kind of looks like Among Us." Whatever. Yeah. He's like, "Whatever."
He's like, that one's got legs.
Yeah, he's like that one. He's like, "That's a dumb idea that I just thought of that," and then some guy thought of that and made $35,000 on it.
He's like, "I'm never gonna think about this ever again."
Kill me. That guy jumped on the nugget conveyor, and now his feet are boot nuggets.
Yeah, boot nuggets.
His head is circle nugget. I can't name the other nuggets, but this story that I have for you next is not even that interesting. But it says Texas man returns home to find dead woman in his bed.
Oh, that's not fun.
I said I'm stacking the bodies, man. Stack them 3 high.
That sounds like a shitty fucking week.
So this guy in southern Texas, he walked into his bedroom after like being away for several weeks from his home, and found a woman dead in his bed. It's unclear how the woman died, since the medical examiner has yet to determine a cause of death. So they're thinking natural causes, but they're also looking at possibly a homicide. And yeah, apparently this happened like it says days earlier, about 200 miles away, a homeowner in Houston found a man's body in a ditch after his dogs. Oh, so they found like another. Why is that? That's not even. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
right
not
over
even
there?
like. That's not even like news. There's like it's just so weird. This woman was found dead in a guy's bed, and days later, 200 miles away, they found another dead guy. And I was like, yeah, they're dead.
Have
They're
you
dead
been to
people.
Chicago?
Have you been to my house in Greenwich Village? Have you been to my spare room? Oh man, yeah, that's some of these articles is piss. I'm in a bad mood, David.
Well, my next and last story will put you in a good mood.
I just found out I don't have any money and no dead bodies. Too many dead bodies and no money.
Well, this is a special story because this is a continuation to one of our previous news stories.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
An update, some may say.
Yep. Bodybuilder who wed 2 sex dolls is now open to dating humans.
Okay, wait. I don't even remember this as a previous story. Wait, say this
I
again?
Do you don't remember the bodybuilder who married 2 sex dolls?
We've had some.
I know I have talked about this before on the podcast. I know I did a news story about it.
Do you remember a long time ago when we talked about that lady that married that fucking zombie doll?
Of course, the photo of her posing with it is still burned into my retina. Every time I close my eyes, I see that image. And I can see it right now. I'm closing my eyes. So yes, Alex, I do remember that story.
Okay, well, I hope she's happy. But what's this guy doing? He's a bodybuilder, and oh shit, this kind of sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's a bodybuilder who married 2 of those super realistic sex dolls. I feel like we talked about
Can you
these-
marry two? Can you marry?
I
Okay,
don't think legally.
First off, you can't marry an inanimate object, but let alone 2, right?
I mean,
Conflict.
shit, if you can do 1, fuck it, give him 2.
That's true. Don't fuck it.
He's fucking these things every day.
I know. I see people. I scroll through. You've been on weird TikTok lately. You've been on weird Midwest TikTok where there was a guy cooking like eggs in his kitchen with a fucking doll. Do you remember when you sent me that?
No, that I don't remember.
That must have been my TikTok then. I'm sorry. There's a guy who had like sex dolls that were like, he set them up to like be holding a frying pan, pretending like he's like, she's cooking me dinner. And it like wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
Dude, like 13-year-olds and like little chillins are allowed to like use this app. And they're scrolling through and see like a grown man with a sex doll cooking them dinner. Man.
It's not good. But yeah, no, this guy's now open to dating humans.
Welcome to the real world. Well, that's good for him. Good for him. Does that mean he's divorced?
You know, when the wedding's a sham in the first place, I don't think so.
Do you think this guy was just trying to get like a reality show or something?
Probably.
I always say like if you really just want to be like famous, like just have no shame. Like it can happen.
Oh yeah.
Just pretend like you're completely insane and just go on Dr. Phil. I mean, the Catch Me Outside girl, she's like has a rap career now. Look at that.
You're gonna talk about the fact that girl made an OnlyFans the day she turned 18 and made like $6 million in 3 hours.
Stop reminding me
Yeah.
how poor I am. I
That's
need
just
a nugget.
weird. That's weird.
Daddy need a nugget.
That's a bad mommy and bad daddy situation. If that's happening, that's not okay.
You know what? We all got to make that money.
I guess
We all
so.
got to make that money. That's pretty cool. You know Dr. Phil bought an account, right?
Of course. He made one of his
Like-
PAs do it, so then he forces the PA to send him daily updates.
This is for research assistance. I gotta make sure that the well-being of this young woman is doing okay.
And if you miss a day, I'm gonna turn you into glue like I did to my 3 horses last Sunday. You saw that massacre
Did he kill horses?
all the time. Guy loves
Does he?
killing horses.
You know, it's the craziest thing that he
Sue me,
strangles
doctor.
them.
He's not even a doctor. Sue me, Phil.
It's crazy because he strangles the horses too, which is like strong
Well,
man.
He mixes between strangling and just pummeling their faces.
Oh, God. Oh, Phil. Oh, Phil.
Phil's a real sick son of a bitch, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, we could have told you that from the first day I saw him.
Yeah.
Anyway, so should we get into these stories?
Yeah, it's damn near been a half an hour.
Yeah, it has. Anyway, let's get into it. Now, David, we are men of whiskey, are we not?
Yes, sir.
We are men of science, are we not?
I believe your calculations are correct.
We are men of... That was good. I like that. Get in character for me.
Yeah, thank you.
We are men of horny, are we not?
I'm not going to get in character for that, but yes. That's a good
Break out the doll. Break out the
I'm
doll.
going to skip that character.
Well, today I have a story for you that deals in a profession that really does encapsulate the Holy Trinity all in one. Now, you might be asking, what job would bring whiskey, science, and horny all in one? What job is that, David? And it's not a crazy job. It's just like a job that you go, oh yeah, that would. Think about it.
I'm thinking for a minute.
You're not gonna get it.
This is someone who's making
Belts.
They're making pills that fight whiskey dick.
It's pretty good. This podcast is brought to you by Blue Chew. You like that?
I just had like a million ideas or like what interpretations of what that could be blast through my fucking head like a train.
I think it's a real fucking Viagra pill that they sell on podcasts now.
Blue Chew?
I believe so.
Is it like you chew it up?
Yeah, it's like Viagra, Blue
Makes
Chew,
your
blue
teeth all
pills.
fucking blue.
It makes your boner as hard as your rotten little chiclet teeth.
Real frail.
Hard. So hard to brush, hard to clean. So, but no, that's right. Lonesome time traveling sailor out at sea.
What?
I think that's whiskey, science, and horny all wrapped into one. Lonesome time traveling sailor out at sea.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So now, although sadly the story has less whiskey and not as much horny, it is chock full of science. And to be fair, the horny and whiskey might have happened behind the scenes, or should I say, in another dimension. Ooh. As today, I tell you about the infamous government experiment gone wrong, known as the Philadelphia Experiment.
Does that have
David,
to do with cream cheese?
Why would this have to... Oh... Fucking asshole. No, it doesn't have to do with cream cheese.
I'm out.
But you know what? It's a good guess. So, first off, what is the Philadelphia Experiment? Have you heard of this, David, at all?
No, I'm assuming it has something to do with using vortexes in the ocean to travel through time as you are sucked deep down into the depths of the Mariana Trench, and then you get spat back out and you land ashore. And all of a sudden, it's 1886.
That's close.
Yeah,
You're
you go.
close. That's
85, right?
Fuck. Yeah, if Disney had one more Pirates of the Caribbean, I bet we'd get there.
Yeah.
But no, so the Philadelphia Experiment was an alleged military experiment carried out on two separate days, July 22nd and October 28th of 1943, in which the U.S. Navy supposedly rendered one of their destroyer escorts, the USS Eldridge, invisible and or cloaked to enemy devices, as well as being able to teleport the massive ship via time travel.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Man, that's smart. How'd they figure that out?
Oh, we'll get into that. So this theory all started in 1955 when a man by the name of Carl Meredith Allen, using the alias Carlos Miguel Allende, sent a series of letters to astronomer and writer Morris K. Jessup. You see, Morris K. Jessup had written numerous books on extraterrestrial existence, one entitled, Why That Alien Hecka Thick.
That's a great piece of literature.
I would read it, but all them pages are stuck together.
Yeah, I felt bad when I let you borrow my book. I should have gotten you a new one.
It's fucked up that a novel's pages are stuck together. A novel. That's a lot of pages,
Yeah.
buddy. No, but I'm just kidding. The actual book was called The Case for the UFO, where he argued that UFOs merit further study, and Carl Allen was a fan of Jessup's work who had just experienced something he thought only a like-minded individual would understand. So, like I said, this guy was I kind of agree with this book. I feel like I would be like writing a book, be like, we need to look more into like unidentified. Now, a lot of people think unidentified flying objects always means aliens, which most of the time I think it does. But UFOs just mean unidentified flying objects. So this guy's just like, yo, we need to look like more into shit that we don't identify that's in the sky, which I feel like is not even that of a far-fetched book to write. But, you know, it's probably chock full of alien-esque stuff. So... But you see, Carl Allen claimed to be on the SS. So, like I said, Carl Allen is the guy who is sending letters to this guy, Jessup, just to clarify. And you see, Carl Allen claimed to be on the SS Andrew Furuseth in the Norfolk Harbor in Virginia on October 28th, 1943, when all of a sudden he witnessed the massive USS Eldridge all of a sudden appear out of thin air and then quickly disappear back to nothingness in the blink of an eye.
Sweet mother of God.
Ooh. Don't you love it when a ship just there and then it ain't there? You know what's weird though? This is like what's kind of fucked up, and that's why I'm kind of mad sometimes about like people who are like really, really, really into aliens or ghosts, where like they believe anything that happens to them is an alien or a ghost, because they oversaturate the market. So then when shit happens to you and you go, hey, I saw a ghost, and they go, oh yeah, my uncle saw 14 ghosts. I'm like, fuck your uncle, man. He didn't see a ghost. Or he might have, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but maybe his uncle did see a ghost.
Exactly. That's why I don't want to like totally discredit your uncle, guys. But like, I just hate it when like there's people who have seen like everything. You're like, oh, I saw an alien, I saw a ghost, I saw this, and then people argue, well, maybe I'm more in tune with that kind of stuff, and you go, yeah, or sometimes you just kind of like try to see stuff because you want to see stuff, and then real shit happens to you, and you go, this is weird, and they go, no, there's too many crackpots out there that have ruined it for you, so no one believes you. So if this guy goes, hey, a boat showed up out of nowhere and it disappeared, they go, hey, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So
especially something that fucking big.
Exactly.
Boat's way too big.
But we'll get
for those shenanigans.
can't be making that's like the Vegas show where they make the elephant disappear. I still don't know how they do that.
Yeah, that's because they're not fast enough to get off that stage.
I've seen an elephant move. It ain't fast enough.
You never see an elephant jump, that's for sure.
No, I saw trample a guy to death one time.
No. You saw
Not
what?
in person. Elephant trample a guy to
I
death.
thought you said you saw an elephant jump on a trampoline once.
Oh, no. Yeah, his name was Trampoline.
Oh, that's a cool name. Is that Italian?
It was.
That was the end of the bloodline.
you know, you're Italian.
Yeah.
So, this is when he saw this happen. This is when Carl Allen dove headfirst into what happened that day and slowly figured out what he had just witnessed. After interviewing numerous military figures and eyewitnesses and receiving classified military documents, he puzzled the story together and came up with his theory that went like this. It seems that the U.S. government was experimenting with new technology to try and get the upper hand via the ocean against the Axis powers during World War II. It was said that they were testing out technology that could render U.S. naval ships invisible to enemies, as well as technology that could teleport massive war machines into strategic positions behind enemy lines.
Sorry, but okay. My biggest problem about this is you're turning a giant warship invisible, right? That's the idea.
Mm-hmm.
What about like when you like see?
What are they gonna eat? No, I'm just kidding. What?
I can't see the beans. God damn it, cat! Where are the beans?
I think I've been eating out the litter box for 45 minutes. I thought it was the beans.
No, because like this might be stupid. Maybe I'm an idiot. But like if a giant warship was invisible, wouldn't you still see like water like as it like went through the water? Wouldn't that still be pretty like noticeable?
I think it was.
You know what I mean? Like the water
yes.
like reacting to the ship on the water.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But like I think that's the thing too, where you're not really close to shore. So when people see a naval like or a destroyer or some kind of like U.S. Navy ship, it's usually from a distance,
True.
right?
If you're that close, it's too late.
Exactly. It's never like you're looking at the water and being like, well, the water's moving weird. I mean, because the water's always moving in the ocean.
It's always moving
and most of the time, somebody's got to be up in the crow's nest with the long eyeglass, seeing eyeglass.
The old peeper tube.
What's that called? Telescope?
Peeper tube.
Was that thing called a telescope or was it called something else?
No, it was a peeper tube.
If you fucking call it a peeper tube one more time, I'm going to kill you. We got to play some, what's that game called again?
Peeper tubers?
That's a different game. We play that off podcast.
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves. You got to play that. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's a good time.
No, like a looking glass?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that's kind of it. Or is that a magnifying glass?
Oh.
Because, like, then they go, like, Alice in Wonderland through the looking glass. What's that? Or is that, am I fucking crazy? Is that a thing? Is that a, I just want to see a pirate on top of a fucking crow's nest with a kaleidoscope being like, yar, there's a bunch of fucking colors coming for us. Oh, that sounded racist. Oh, my God. Pirates, don't. Why did you say that, Pirate Alex? That's bad. I didn't mean it, Pirate Alex. He did. David's getting up and leaving. David, I'm sorry. David, you have to come back. It wasn't me. It was the pirate.
Where were we?
Pirates. So, like I was saying, so from eyewitness and military documents, it is said that on July 22nd of 1943, the U.S. Navy was able to cloak the massive USS Eldridge by making it invisible for a few minutes before returning it back to its seeable form. This experiment went widely unnoticed by most because of its success. It was the event and failure of October 28th that led to the public becoming aware. So like I said, this experiment took place over 2 different days. July 22nd is when they just made it disappear, the invisibility thing. And they apparently succeeded in that. And no one was, threw a fit. No one really knew about it. They're like, yep, it disappeared for a few minutes and it came back. So that's the invisible part. But the next part had to deal with teleportation, which is, we all know what happens when teleportation gets involved.
Yeah, people's limbs start falling off.
Oh, buddy boy, you're in for it. So you see, on the 28th of October, the Navy planned on teleporting the USS Eldridge from Philadelphia Naval Shipyard to the Norfolk Shipyard in Virginia, and then back again. But what ended up happening that day did not go as planned. Eyewitnesses stated that right before the USS Eldridge disappeared from Philadelphia, there was a greenish-blue glow that surrounded the hull of the ship as the ship's generator grew louder. Then, all of a sudden, the ship disappeared, reappeared in Norfolk, disappeared again, and then reappeared in Philly again.
I just imagine the entire cruise violently vomiting this entire time.
I know. I think of like Thor and Loki, or like traveling through like the fucking. Oh no!
Bifrost?
You know what I was? No, yeah, not the No, I was thinking of a different Marvel movie. You know, in Guardians 2, when they have to like hit the hyperspeed thing and they're all like morphine and like. Yeah, and he's like, "Don't hit that," and then he hits it, and they're all like, "That's what I was kind of picturing."
Yeah.
To these
these like eyeballs are shooting out and shit.
Exactly. So But yeah, so this is what what's his name saw that day. You know, when he was like, "What the fuck?" He said he was on a sister ship that was in the Norfolk Harbor, and that the ship all of a sudden appeared and then disappeared, like immediately.
He wasn't just on the ship; he was also on acid.
I'm thinking.
You ever tried sailing not on acid?
Oh, you can't even see the stars.
The map's gone.
It's crazy. I feel like acid was the only way I could actually get on a ship and be like, yeah, we're eventually like, here's a limited amount of food with no guarantee that we're gonna land on land.
Yeah, that's rough.
Honestly scariest shit ever, right?
Yeah, I was terrified the whole time.
You throw a couple fat sailors on there, you know,
Real
just
plump.
in case.
Plump sailors.
Yeah, just in case.
No one's
Just
gonna
in
say it, but we're all
You know what?
thinking it.
You don't want the lean guy. The lean guy tastes bad. Big plump guy.
Yeah, it's all tendons.
I've been feeding him walnuts and cherries with the shell on them and the stems.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know.
Are
You
trying
know,
to
there's
season
some.
them from the inside.
Well, you know, they have like pigs that like some people are like, oh, we only feed them like walnuts and this, and they like that.
No.
It's supposed to. Oh yeah, there's
I don't
like
know anything about this.
well, it's like grass-fed beef. It's the same thing.
It's just walnut and cherry fed pigs.
Well, I don't know about the cherry, but I know that they feed pigs certain things. I just thought
What,
that
the pig
sounded
spit
nice and pleasant.
You spit the pit out or what?
You tell me you don't want a walnut cherry pig? 2 types of wood in one pig? Anyway, so everyone thought the experiment was a success because, you know, the ship disappeared, reappeared, disappeared, and then reappeared. And like, oh shit, we did it. But as military officials walked onto the returned ship, that's when they witnessed the horror of what happened. You see, it is believed that the ship did not make a straight shot to Norfolk, but on the way back to Philly, that the ship actually teleported to another dimension where it encountered aliens and then traveled back to Philadelphia. See, this is where I think a lot of the whiskey and the horny went down, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Science was on the face of it.
Yeah.
Horny and whiskey was over in Alien Town,
Okay.
which is next to Funky Town.
Okay. But why did they believe this?
Because the sailors that accompanied the ship during its interdimensional travel suffered greatly from the trip. It was said that some of the sailors were dead, strewn about the ship. Others were said to have gone insane, and some were suffering from unknown illnesses. But the worst of it came in the form of the being fused into the metal hull of the ship.
Oh, sweet
Arms, legs, and faces hanging out of the ship.
Sweet
all
mother
still
of God.
alive. Yeah. I mean, but that's like the I feel like that's the classic I've seen some sci-fi movies where they talk about, you know, you step on the pad and there's teleportation and they go, well, it's easy. All we have to do is deconstruct your I forget what movie it is, but they go, we just like deconstruct your atoms, and then the only problem is when we try to like put you back together, it doesn't know how to put you back together. So it can reconstruct you, and then when it comes back, you're a blob. It's like it's not what's that Tim Allen movie? Is that Home Improvement? It sounded like Scooby-Doo. Fuck. What's it called? Tim Allen, Sam Rockwell.
It's the one when he's like the dad and they go on like the Boy Scout trip and they like shoot arrows at each other.
No. Oh my God. No. I know a movie that is, man. He's on the cover with like an arrow in his mouth and a headdress on. No. What movie is that? Okay, no. This one is called, oh, you guys are hating me today because I cannot name any of these movies. What's that fucking Tim Allen movie, man? Tim Allen Space Galaxy Quest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I've typed in Tim Allen tribal movie to get this next one. Jungle to Jungle.
Oh God, who was the little boy in Jungle to Jungle?
The little boy in Jungle to Jungle was Martin Short. I'm joking. No, it was he was he was in the movie. No, the kid's name was Sam Huntington.
Oh, I thought he was a bigger kid than that.
No, this
And
this
by
guy.
that I mean like a bigger named kid, not like a larger child.
No. This guy's been in stuff. What has he been in? Sam Huntington. You've seen him before. He's been in movies such as Fanboys, Not Another Teen Movie. He's in the TV show Good Girls.
Hold on. So we're looking at Sam Huntington. I'm on IMDb. His character name is Mimi Siku. Mimi Siku?
Yeah, because that's his like tribal name.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't remember that movie at all.
You referenced it, motherfucker.
I know.
Anyway, don't jump up here. The cat's trying to jump up here. I have to tell it no. It understands English. So like I was saying, yo, they fuse in and out of the ship. We didn't even talk about that. That's shitty, man. That's like that's like a half carbonite prison, man.
Mama.
It's like,
Mama, I feel strong. I'm half metal, Mama.
Mama,
I'm a warship now, Mama.
Mama, I'm Iron Man, Mama.
Mama, look at how strong I am. Look at
Put
your
the
boy, Mama.
Put the beans in my mouth, Mama. Mama, more beans.
Mama, I'm real strong. I just can't move my arms. They're too big. Could you feed your
Mama.
boy some more beans, Mama?
Mama, why is Uncle Kenny in the room behind me that I'm fused in? Mama, Uncle Kenny back there. Mama, get Uncle Kenny, Mama. Mama, Uncle Kenny got beans and he put them in the wrong hole.
That's where you're going with. I thought you were trying to say that Uncle Kenny was gonna put a screwdriver into the back of this young, strong boy's head. But you had other plans.
I don't know which one's more alarming. The fact that he's going to murder this kid with a screwdriver or that he's putting beans up his butt.
I'm gonna go with the beans in the butt, man. This kid's a
Man,
monster. He needs to be put down.
No, I'm a doer. You're a don'ter.
You're a doer.
That's
I'm a
what
killer.
That's what you are.
You. Oh my God, never mind.
Oh, leave all the horrible shit to me. I say all the horrible shit. David just plays it safe.
I know when to
you
pump
guys,
the brakes.
You know what's fucked up in real life? David says all the horrible shit. I just don't have a filter. David just knows. I sound like I'm the one who doesn't know, like I'm the horrible one. David's the fucking horrible one. I'm like pretty normal.
Prove it.
I mean, I'm normal compared to David. But like, let's get back into the story.
You forget. I worked in radio for years. I know when to tame myself.
Yeah, I don't. This ain't radio, baby. Welcome to the Wild West.
That was really reckless of them to give me a radio show as a college student with no experience.
Oh man, imagine if we had a radio show. We'd be running that school. Yee!
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
ITT Tech?
I didn't work for the college station. I worked for
Oh.
a legitimate, like, large company.
Ooh, okay.
It was bad. They should not have done that. I got a lot of complaints.
So, because you just make fucking mouth noises in the microphone.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
There was one day I just went in and just went,
Ah! Anyway, so you see Carl Allen reached out to Jessup, the author of that book, because Jessup mentioned, oh, here we go, here's the science, unified field theory in his UFO book. And Allen believed that the government was now using it to teleport ships. And I know what you're wondering, David. Actually, I know we're both not wondering, because we both know what unified field theory is, obviously.
Yeah.
But anybody out there who doesn't, unified field theory, which has never been proven, is an attempt to merge Einstein's field of relativity theory with electromagnetism. And to no surprise, Carl Allen said that he could now prove this theory because of the Philadelphia experiment. And Allen also claimed to know so much about unified field theory because he was taught by Einstein himself.
Oh shit, that's cool. I wish I was taught by Einstein. I probably would have not been doing this.
You know, it's like kind of fucked up too, because like I bet I don't know, man. I feel like that guy was more of a doer than a teacher, kind of like me.
Sure.
He was probably beans in the butt, and you're probably sitting around being like, wait, what? And he's like, it'll all pay off in the end. I am German.
Germaned?
That's how they say German.
He's been Germaned.
Yeah, he was German. And then, you know, Operation Paperclip. Let's get all the Germans over here, including Werner von Braun, to build us NASA, even though he was like a Nazi. Let's not get into that. But,
You know, wait, is that what that guy's name was? The documentary filmmaker that you used to always talk about?
no, that's Werner Herzog.
I was thinking about the other day, and I could hear your voice doing that. I could hear you doing that, like the impersonation, but I could not remember what the fucking name was.
I am Werner. I am Werner Herzog.
That's a name you don't see very often.
No, he's definitely very German. You've seen him in a bunch of stuff. He's really creepy, but
You
he's
say
great.
that. I don't know if I have.
He's great. He's so good. So anyway, Jessup wrote Carl Allen off as a crackpot. Obviously, this guy's just like, yo, like he might have been in on like, oh, really, unified field theory? And then all of a sudden he's like, Einstein taught me everything I know. And he's like, I really don't think you're telling the truth anymore, man. You fucking tripled down, and now I don't believe you. So Jessup kind of wrote Carl Allen off as a crackpot and went on with his life. But it was only 2 years later when the Office of Naval Research reached out to Jessup and told him that they received a parcel containing a paperback copy of the case for the UFO in a manila envelope marked Happy Easter. So basically, the Office of Naval Research reached out to this author, Jessup, and was like, yo, we just got your book in the mail in a manila envelope written Happy Easter on the front of it. And the book had been extensively annotated in the margins, designed to appear to be written with 3 different shades of pink ink and 3 different people, one possibly being extraterrestrial, appearing to detail a correspondence among 3 individuals, only one of whom is given a name, which is Jemmy, Jemi, and the Office of Naval Research labeled the other 2 Mr. A and Mr. B. So basically, this Office of Naval Research got this letter, or got this book from a random person and was like, okay, this is your book. We're reaching out to you. What the hell is this? And it seems to be like 3 people talking back and forth in the margins of this book, and one of them is seeming to be an alien. So, like, can you give us any more? I guess, like, what they were talking about, and he was probably referring to, like, you know, different planets, or like, we have this technology so far. You guys have not reached that point yet. You know what I mean? Like something along those lines where they were kind of put 2 and 2 together. And that's the one that they got the name out of, which is Jemmy.
Well, sickness is not a thing for us because we have Zergentar.
We have taken tortoises and strapped them to our backs, and now we don't get sick. That's the thing. You know, tortoises don't get sick.
The tortoise eat the germs from the air before it reaches our back nose.
Oh, sorry, I'm peeing.
It's a heavy pee. Why is it so red?
It's vino. It's all blood. Yeah, you know what? That's the thing about tortoise is that you wrap them in a tortilla, and all of a sudden they become tortugas. Oh. So pretty cool, right?
Did not know that.
The island of Tortuga. Is that Spanish?
It is now.
So, the annotators referred to each other as gypsies. Their words, not mine. I know it might be an insensitive term now, but I guess they referred to them as each other as gypsies, which just kind of means like travelers, I'm guessing, is what they're referring to, and discussed 2 different types of people living in outer space. Their text contained non-standard use of capitalization and punctuation and detailed a lengthy discussion of the merits of various elements of Jessup's assumptions in the book. There were oblique references to the Philadelphia experiment. One example is that Mr. B reassured his fellow annotators who have highlighted a certain theory which Jessup advanced. I don't know really what that means, but I think they're just like talking about the Philadelphia experiment and being like, unified field theory is a thing because of this. Remember, they use this at the Philadelphia experiment. So he was just kind of like reiterating his own theory. Oh, we don't know who's writing in this yet, but
It's Shakespeare. Spoiler alert.
But based on the handwriting style and subject matter, Jessup concluded a large part of the writing was Allende's, which was the guy who was bothering him for the past couple of years.
Oh.
So he's, Jessup was the author, and this guy Allende just kept being like, I saw the sign. No, he's like, I saw
it opened my
beans. But Allende was like, I saw the ship disappear. I saw the Philadelphia experiment. I read your book. They're using unified field theory. I was taught by Einstein, and he just kept sending all this shit to Jessup. And basically, when he couldn't get through to Jessup, he took this book, annotated it from 3 different people with different handwriting, and then sent it to the Office of Naval Research and was like, look at this. This is time travelers corresponding with each other based off of the theories in this book, basically. And apparently others came to the same conclusion, that it was his handwriting 3 different times, and that the 3 styles of annotations are from the same person using 3 different pens. You see, it's strange because some articles claim that after this, Jessup became obsessed with Carl Allen's theory. So like I said, Allende, Carl Allen. Sorry, this is very confusing because this guy went by like 3. Yeah, this guy went by like 3 fucking different names. But basically, after this, I read that Jessup, the author of the UFO book, became obsessed with Carl Allen's theories. But from everything else I researched, it seemed that Jessup wanted nothing to do with Allen, which makes a lot more sense because this guy Allen was just like, Einstein taught me unified field theory. I saw a ship disappear, come back, people stuck in the side of ships. And the guy's like, yo, dude, I just said like people should maybe look more into UFOs. And this guy was just like harassing him basically. And regardless, Jessup went on to try, the author of the book, Jessup, went on to try and publish more books about UFOs, but eventually lost his publisher and had a series of downturns in his personal life that eventually led to him taking his own life, which is sad.
Yeah, it sucks.
And this is a conspiracy theory in its own right, as some believe that Jessup was killed because of what he was writing in those UFO books he was trying to publish that never saw the light of day.
Oh.
So that's a whole nother theory.
Yep.
As for crazy-ass Allen, maybe not crazy, who knows, but as for crazy-ass Carl Allen, according to him, officers at the Office of Naval Research convinced the Navy to fund a 1958 small printing of 250 to 100 copies of the annotated volume of the Texas-based Vero Manufacturing Company. This is so fucking convoluted, man. Basically, he believes that the Office of Naval Research took his annotated book, made 100 copies of it, and then gave it out to different military branches and called it the Vero edition. So he's like, you guys are using my annotations that I found from 3 different time travelers, and you guys are using it as research. And even though like some people are like, dude, you wrote all of this. And I don't really know where he stands on it. But for what really went down on October 28th, 1943, it was said by attending military personnel that what really happened was that there were classified devices on board, but that they were not of cloaking or teleportation origin, but instead were devices that scrambled the magnetic signatures of ships, which would provide protection from magnetic torpedoes. As for the green glow around the ship, some believe it was part of an electrical storm that could have occurred when plasma is created in a strong electrical storm. It's known as St. Elmo's fire, apparently.
Okay.
And it's not just a movie. And lastly, for seeing the ship in Norfolk and Philadelphia in the same day, there are inland canals that the ship could have passed through, reaching the other spot in less than a couple of hours. So they kind of debunked this a little bit,
Okay.
saying that, like, obviously, yeah, there was classified information, but it was about scrambling torpedoes. There might have been a green aura around the ship. Could have been from an electrical storm. And you maybe saw two ships in the same spot at once because of a canal where they could have traveled up in less than a couple hours. But that's also very convenient for the government to be like, we need to find these connections. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that also all might not have happened as well. But the USS Eldridge was transferred to Greece in 1951 and then sold for scrap in the 1900s. But even though, not in the 1900s. It was sold for scrap in the 90s. But even though many believe this to be a hoax, we would have to ask the Greek scrapyard workers that day, as they tore apart the ship, if they happened to find any severed arms, legs, or even faces hiding behind the metal hull of the ship.
Yeah, we found a boy. He had a screwdriver in the back of his neck and a spoon up his ass. I don't know.
And a butt full of beans. That boy's full of beans. Hit him with a stick. Hang him from a tree. Hit him with a stick. That boy busted open with beans.
Hang him
there was
over
a couple
the fire there.
There was a couple of Jolly Ranchers in them too. I can't say I didn't eat the Jollies.
The wrapper was on. It's fine.
It was safe. It was contained.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so the Philadelphia experiment is one of those stories that have gone down. They've made movies out of it. Everyone's very aware of it.
Ghost Ship. Good movie.
Oh, Ghost Ship. The beginning of Ghost Ship when you get sliced in half.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoiler. But yeah, so people always have talked about this, and
Ghost
there's
Ship?
Philadelphia experiment.
Oh, sorry.
But, it can be proven both ways, but it's very interesting just to know, like, a little bit of the history of, like, these two guys that were sending correspondence, and it could have all just been a crackpot theory or a ruse created by this guy, Carl Allen.
Yeah.
Which, if it was, it's fascinating in itself that something so small like that became so big in the, conspiracy or scientific community. So,
Yep.
interesting overall.
Yeah. Okay, Tobin. I will start this story off with asking you, are you a gambling man?
I've known to lose all my money, yes.
Do you like to put your house on the line betting on Germany winning gold and silver in the Olympic shot put?
That's highly specific. I've never done that, but you know what? I'm interested, especially since I don't have a house.
Yeah, that seems like a win-win.
Yeah.
What's the worst bet you've ever agreed to?
Oh, fuck. You mean like in a casino or like
Anything.
Shit, man. I'm trying to think. But I mean, nothing too bad. I've had to humiliate myself, probably like stick my hand in the toilet or something like that.
Like marry your mother-in-law?
Yeah. I've had to marry a couple mother-in-laws in my heyday, but yeah, I just remember like I think I had to like eat like a whole like tube of cookie dough one time. Got sick.
Yeah, I guess that would make you sick probably.
Yeah, it's not as fun as it sounds.
Unless you're that garbage disposal from the Flintstones movie.
Don't get me started.
Okay,
Do
well,
you have a worst bet, David? Do you have a worst bet? What's your worst bet?
I'm a person that doesn't bet on shit. I always turn down bets. I'm not someone that takes bets usually.
I've lost a couple 20s in the Super Bowl squares, but that's and then like maybe a couple hundred in a casino in Vegas, but I don't lose thousands. I lose like 100 max, 200 max.
Yeah,
I'm
we
too
might
poor.
be whiskey men, but we're definitely not gambling men.
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away. I'm gonna was singing karaoke podcast.
I found a video earlier on my phone of you singing karaoke and me dancing behind you.
Oh, that was fun at that dive bar.
Love that place. Scarlet
Yeah.
Lady.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep. Okay, so today we are going to talk about a real betting man and what he put on the line. This is the story about Brian Wiz Zembic.
Whoa.
You know Brian Wiz Zembic?
Is Wiz his nickname? Is there
Yeah.
parentheses? Okay, I thought it was Zembic. No, I don't know about him,
Wiz
but
Zembic.
he sounds like he might know a thing or two, hence the wizardly name.
No, that's true. It's pretty good. So Brian Wiz Zembic is not only a high-stakes gambler specializing in the world of blackjack and backgammon, but he's also a magician.
Wait, you could bet in backgammon?
I don't know. Yeah, you can bet
I don't-
anything.
I don't fully know what backgammon is.
I don't either. It's gotta be honest. Neither.
Pinochle,
We don't know
bridge,
what it is, guys.
backgammon, Chinese checkers, regular checkers,
As far as I'm concerned, they're all the same game. it's like
Italian checkers,
It's a big joke to see who knows. It's like to fuck with you.
Filipino checkers.
Yeah.
I don't know any of
German
it.
checkers.
Yeah, them too. Yeah, no, it's all a big ruse to me.
I'm surprised you're not that excited that he was also a magician.
Oh, wait, okay, I did kind of sorry, I was thinking a lot about checkers. Ooh, was he a card mechanic?
I don't know, but I feel like if you are a professional gambler, you're not allowed to be a magician and vice versa.
Well, here's the thing. I've known to watch a couple of documentaries about magicians in my day, and I've known that one thing magicians are known for, it's kind of a base level thing you have to do, is to be somewhat of a card mechanic. And a card mechanic is just basically anybody who can handle cards in a way that is like they can manipulate a deck of cards better than you could if you were looking at them face up. They could move specific cards to the top of the deck and move specific cards to the bottom of the deck, and it's
Okay.
almost like magic.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
it is magic, I guess.
Yeah.
It's illusions.
Hi, Peter. So Brian is a Canadian-born man from Winnipeg who was born in 1961. And as far as his early life, this is about as much that I can find. There's not much available. But in the 90s, Brian was crowned in fame as the man who would do anything to win a bet.
Whoa.
And I mean anything. As you will soon find out.
He's his mother-in-law.
Now you have to marry your mother-in-law. So, in the beautiful European summer of 1996, Brian and his two friends, one named Jobo and Brian's girlfriend, were out and about while attending a gambling event. It was like a, what do you call that? Like not a festival, but a gathering kind of thing.
An underground? Was it an underground type of thing, or was it like a? Because gambling is like not. Oh, what's Canada's laws on that?
I'm not sure. As far as I'm aware, he's now living in the United States.
Okay, so
he was born in Canada, but I don't know how long he was living in Canada.
Okay, but yeah, I just know a lot of it's like underground shit. But I guess let's call it an extravaganza.
Sure, yeah. Brian's girlfriend at the time was a woman blessed with a desirable chest.
Lots of gold and rubies. Okay, now you got me attention.
Crystal skull for the lady.
Oh, let me look through my kaleidoscope at that chest. Oh, so many colors.
And she wasn't afraid to share that gift in public. Flaunting her chesticles, she would gain a lot of attention from the men around, around them. A lot of people checking her out and stuff. And Brian and his friend took notice to the fact that a lot of people noticed that she was displaying her talents. And it was at this time Brian said something along the lines of, "If I had boobs like hers, I could get just as much attention as she does."
What a cool quote.
Yeah. and
It's
with
like, yeah, what? It's like, it's so funny because like I think it's hilarious when like I hear stories like that too, because like we've all seen a lady with big boobs. If you're a man or a woman or whatever gender you are, we've all seen a lady with big boobs and we go big boobs in our head, and then we just like move on with our day. Who's sitting at the poker table being like jaw on the felt table being like, awooga? Like, I can't take
this was 1996 in Europe.
Oh, yeah, they didn't have the internet. I've seen so many boobs now, and they don't do anything for me.
I'm just numb.
I gotta see a man get stumped to death by an elephant to get any kind of satisfaction. Oh, rest in peace, trampoline.
Trampoline man, no. And with those magic words, Jobo's ears perked up like the gambling man he is. And instead of just like, laughing it off like a normal human being would, Jobo took it as a serious idea and asked Brian how much would he bet to prove this theory.
Is this what they mean in that song when they say you gotta know when to hold 'em?
Yes.
Okay.
In both ways.
Kenny Rogers.
Brian and company agreed that $100,000 would be a good enough price for this bet.
Fuck them. Would they throw a chicken nugget in the middle of the table?
So I don't know if you're following me here, but remember his awesome quote that we talked about. If I had boobs like hers, I could get just as much attention as she does.
Yo, what the fuck? Okay, I was literally just... I was literally thinking like, oh, let's see if we could like con some guys out of their money by like creating a diversion with my girlfriend's boobs or something like that.
No, sweet boy. Brian Wiz Zembic flew back to New York City with two things on his mind: $100,000 and a shiny new pair of knockers.
Well, damn, I was kind of hoping you were going to say he flew back with two things on his mind, shiny pair of knockers and this, or like, but he flew back with two things on his chest.
Oh, no. He wanted American-made, baby.
Oh, okay.
Brian immediately went to a plastic surgeon as soon as he landed. And imagine this. The plastic surgeon turned out to be...
Buddy,
what?
I'm imagining this right now.
The plastic surgeon turned out to be what, Tobin?
Blind.
A gambling man!
A man who's never seen boobs.
He's a plastic surgeon.
He put two squares on me chest. He doesn't know what boobs look like.
But yes, this surgeon ended up being a gambling man himself. The surgeon and Brian came up with a wager on a game of backgammon, one of Brian's expertise. And after a few games, Brian had won himself a free pair of 38C breast implants.
Oh, do you think he like started off with like betting A's and then had to like work his way up? You know what I mean? Like
that would make it a little spicier.
Because I feel like, I mean, let's be honest, the surgery is going to cost the same no matter what bag you're slipping in there.
Though.
Maybe not.
Maybe the different sizes cost more money. I've never thought about that.
If you guys know this, email us with pictures. Don't send us any pictures. Those.
This is a family podcast, Alex.
Don't send us any pictures. If you do, send us treasure chest. Not other kinds.
So yeah, Brian went through with it, and he had 38C breast implants put into his own chest.
Beautiful. Good for him.
Yeah. So obviously, Brian did the first thing anyone would do in this situation.
Jumping jacks.
No, you can't do that after surgery.
Well,
I think. I would accept. I would suspect.
Let the boobies hit the floor. Yeah, you're probably right. They probably fall out, right?
Just go whoop.
Yeah. Owie. Ow.
Yowza. Yeah, he did what everybody do in this situation, and he went to his friend to collect.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry I cut you off again, but, like, I just realized you probably shouldn't try to bet against the guy who's about to give you breast surgery, because now he could, like,
Oh, he could fuck you up.
Oh my God, nipple up here, nipple down there, third nipple, fourth nipple.
He packed you full of jellyfish, my friend.
That's just a Hershey kiss at this point. What is that? Packed you full of jellyfish? And some jam fish.
So, yeah, he went to go collect. And flashing his friend Jobo his new melons. Jobo laughed for 10 minutes straight and said, "That's the best $100,000 I've ever lost." So
please don't be my friend if you're gonna do that.
yeah,
Like how much? Like was the breast surgery $100,000, or like you spend how much you want on the breast surgery and then keep the rest of the money, right? And he got it. It
Yeah.
seems like he got it for free.
yeah, he got it for free.
Fuck. Okay.
So yeah, so like I was saying, this was 1996, and that was 25 years ago. So how's Brian doing now? Well, Brian absolutely refuses to get his implants removed.
Okay. I feel like he was looking for a reason to get him in there, and then he's like, "Oh, let's like do a bet." And I'm like, you know what? I'm all for
Okay,
it, but like,
okay.
be yourself. Be
I
proud.
guess like, in a normal situation, saying like, "Oh, I bet I'd get just as much attention." In a normal group of people, yeah, that'd be ignored. But when you're at a fucking gambling convention, someone's gonna hear the word bet, and whatever follows that, they're in.
Yeah, but like, think of the craziest person you know, and like in your friend group. Like, would
Kyle
they ever?
LaMontagne.
Yeah. Good point. Would he ever get that? Like, just for like a bet? You gotta be like, you gotta he doesn't want to get him removed. He likes him. But it's like,
Well,
I feel like he's always wanted him. Maybe.
the reason why he likes him is because he says he has too much fun breastfeeding his guinea pig Thomas.
Is this a joke? That was too off the cuff. That made me very nervous.
No, that was a joke.
I thought I was gonna have to call guinea pig services.
Brian refuses to get them removed because, in the terms of the original bet, and I left this part out just because it's more fun to say it now, Brian gets an additional $10,000 for every year he keeps them.
Oh fuck!
So for the quick math here, Brian has made $350,000 with his breast implants.
Do you think they're that? Do we have pictures of him for
yeah.
scientific purposes?
Yep, these guys search his name.
Okay, what's his name?
Oh, you actually?
I want to see these bad boys.
It is
Brian
and Zembic.
Oh, Zembic. Wow, he came up quick.
Yeah.
Brian Zembic. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah, there you go, bud.
There's pictures of him and his wife or girlfriend in bed, and he's all titties out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he knows
what they're there for. He knows why the cameras are there.
Oh shit. Dude, he wears a fucking sports bra.
Yeah. You got to. If he's trying to go for a jog, you have to.
Yo, this is crazy. It's all hitting me all right now. It's like why did Inside Edition do a story on him? I mean, I guess it's story worthy, but good lord.
Yeah,
They're weirdly not that noticeable, but in this picture, he's just pulling them out of the top of his shirt and pinching his nipples. It's pretty disturbing and erotic. Did I say disturbing and erotic?
Well, I mean, for at the end of the day, you've got to have a pretty wild sense of humor to go through with this.
Or just and also $10,000 is that's a good amount of money every year.
Yeah.
But you got to have good friends who are just going to actually be man, longest joke ever, right?
I mean, what about, Jobo, man? You imagine writing that check every year? God damn it, man.
Jobo's please remove them.
I've got kids in college.
Please. What do these guys get all this money in the first place? They can just start off with $1,000 at a gambling table. Maybe they could have, but
trust fund. Who knows?
Jesus. That guy's got to look. That guy had parents. I don't know if he still does.
I hope not.
They probably saw those and were like, "Yeah, we're good. We can leave.
We're going to Cancun.
We're going to heaven. Bye." Oh my God.
Yeah. So Brian has even admitted that they have grown on him, which I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a joke or not.
Yeah.
And in an interview, his now ex-wife, which I believe is the lady in the photos that you've seen, was asked how she felt about his breast being bigger than hers. And yes, a woman reporter did ask that question, if that's important. And his wife said, no, mine look much nicer.
Like I was saying, that's why you don't fucking gamble with the doctor who's gonna angrily put those breasts in your chest.
Yeah. So I guess this is where I wrap it up, and I'm just gonna say, if next Super Bowl and you guys start doing your bets and who will kick the first field goal and how many touchdowns Tom Brady's gonna throw, because he's going back to the Super Bowl.
I hope.
Next time.
I just want to see an old guy doing the football.
Old guy. I hope at least like one other person listening started chanting. But yeah, before you start doing all those little Super Bowl bets, maybe think twice before you get a little too far ahead of yourself, and you might end up with some big old knockers.
Tiggle bitties?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. David,
Yeah.
what were you Googling to find this story, buddy?
Boy, you do not want to know.
Well, it paid off because that was a great story, and I appreciate it. And now I have nightmares to go look forward to.
Yeah.
So you guys Google those pictures if you want to check them out.
I will say, if you Google image search his name, it's like 99% of them are edited, but I think there are some that are they're blurred. But I don't know. Really?
Google images, dude.
I guess you've got the safe search off.
I definitely do. And man, he's flaunting them. It's crazy,
Hey,
man.
You've got to, honestly. If you're gonna go through with that, you can't hide it. You have to just be all about it.
Free that. It is also super weird, especially to see a man with boobs and then being like, yeah, that's fine to show his nipple, and then they're like,
where's the line?
A woman with boobs, and you're just like, that's not okay. And I'm like,
oh, disgusting. Blur it out.
I'm like, what a weird social construct we've created. And it's also the guys who are the biggest weird guys who are like, oh yeah, boobs, oh yeah, I love boobs. And then there's a woman breastfeeding a child, and he's like, oh, this is disgusting. And you're and what do you, dude? Who cares? You know what I mean? It's just but that guy's like, well, the baby gets all the boob. I don't get none of the boob.
I want some of that.
You give me the boob and you'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
It's strange, the society we've created. I think the Europeans have figured it out more. They're just like, yeah, nudity's whatever. Who gives a shit?
Hey,
and we're just
we live in a society. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, we'll show somebody get trampled to death by an elephant, but we won't show a nipple.
Yeah.
A woman nipple.
Lord forbid.
Lord forbid. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. We love telling you these stories, and we love when you stick around and listen. So if you guys want any more information, you guys could go to our Instagram at Camp Strange Podcast and go click on the hyperlinks. And, we got all the fun stuff in there. Rate, review, subscribe on whatever you're listening to. Send us an email at campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. We got merch. We got all that stuff. We're trying to revamp some stuff right now, so we'll keep you guys updated. Possibly starting a Patreon soon with more stuff. I know we've talked about that for a very long time, but I have the help of my girlfriend this time. So, sometimes you need a little bit of extra help besides two idiots who talk about man boobs on a podcast. So we're getting a little outside help. So it's in the works, and it's hopefully on the way very soon. But we will keep you guys updated on any and all of that. And David, what else do we have in the store? We're doing it.
Man. Sports bras for men. They're in camo.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And they got a little pocket for your cigarettes.
I was going to say, do they have a little skull ring on there? A little Copenhagen ring,
They got a lot of mustard stains.
Well, if we got the sports bra, you know we got them nipple rings.
Got a skier with 2 broken legs.
Ooh, I have a rock that I killed my brother with. That's a biblical joke for any of you Bible heads out there.
Yeah, for all you Bible heads, where you guys at?
You
Shakespeare
rock
wrote
heads.
the Bible.
He did.
He did. It's a fact. I got a mouthful of glass.
I have lava in a thermos.
I got a rodent rock band, and I got the mouse on drums. I got a possum on the lead guitar. I got a squirrel. He's rocking that bass. You know it. I got a raccoon, and he's singing.
I have chimney chowder. Get up to your roof. Look in there. There's chowder.
Got fucking 12 seagulls tied to 12 pieces of rope connected to a scooter.
I have tuna in a trunk. Trunked tuna.
There's a common theme going on over here. What are you looking at? What you've got on your fucking table? Got your chimney chowder and your trunk tuna?
I didn't realize I just did that back to back, but you're right. Okay, I'm going to switch it up for the next one.
I got one of those hats with a propeller on it. Go ahead, you got one right here because I had to not do that last one you said.
Okay, ready? Wait.
Yeah. Don't say it again.
I have canker sores all over my body.
Dude, come on. You know I have that. It's not funny.
Oh, no.
Oh. I can tell you one thing I don't have, and that's happiness.
I can tell you another thing I don't have. That's dental floss. My teeth are rotten and smell like shit. Anyway. Should we just end it there?
Please.
I'm hot,
Please
dude.
do.
It is fucking hot.
I'm in a garage.
Like, that doesn't mean anything for temperature-wise. That could
Yeah,
be
well,
cold
it's
or
hot.
hot.
It's hot in this garage.
Yeah.
I should
Anyway.
turn that heater off.
Anyway, I should throw out the fire. Throw out the fire. Jesus fuck. Anyway. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, Patreon on the way. So stay tuned. And David, do you have anything to say before we head out?
Damian Lillard is MVP.
You heard it here first. And don't forget to stay strange.